Hey everybody, did you miss me? Nah, I didn't think so. Let's just get to it. Um, today we're gonna read Private Study Sessions by Steel Resolve. It is a romance, a comedy, and a slice of life. Now I'm gonna be real quick with you guys. The last story I read, Diary of a Silent Tyrant, I did read that before I read it to you guys. This story, on the other hand, I have never heard of. I don't know anything about it. I just randomly pulled it out of the pool of fanfics. And this is what I got. So, there's one chapter, and it has 2,004... No, God. Wow, that didn't take long. 2,945 words. Okay. God, I am already screwed. Oh yeah, ponies swearing blah 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 warning. Warning. Big flashing red lights. I didn't do that. Let's just get to it. Alright. A shadow flitted through the evening sky. A shadow had an okay. I'm just gonna start all over. A shadow flitted through the evening sky. The shadow had a name, but she preferred to think of herself as nameless. The pony who would be Shadow didn't want a name while she was sneaking around the Golden Oaks library, rather than crowing and boasting from the rooftops as she usually did. She arrived just as the last lights faded from the sky, as she always did on these clandestine, sneaky meetings. No, guys, I did not mess up. That was actually in the story. Moving on. A black jumpsuit covered her body from head to tail. Only one telltale tuft of her unruly mane betrayed her, but in the fading light, it was hard to make out the prismatic tones that marked her identity as assuredly as the cutie mark on her flank would have done. Being born cool wasn't always what it was cracked up to be. Rainbow looked around nervously, trying to see if she had been spotted during her flight. Seeing no pony, she knocked on the window, trying to get the attention of the pony inside before she was seen. This was I need help. This was just far too embarrassing to risk any pony else knowing about. She could barely endure one pony knowing. Her only consolation lay in the fact that pony was the only one who truly understood her hunger. She shared it, even. God, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to talk. I'm so sorry, guys. I haven't done this in a while. Obviously. Last time I read was the last time I read to you guys. I'm gonna shut up! The window opened, and there she was. The Temptress. Oh, how Dash hated what this unicorn did to her. How the mighty had fallen. The unicorn smiled warmly when she found that her hapless victim had come back, begging for more, like she predicted. She's like some kind of wizard. Well, actually, that was true. She was. Huh. Nope, can't do the voice. Hi, Dash! Only Twilight, and maybe Rarity, could pull off that sweet and innocent look while being so conniving. Maybe it's a unicorn thing. I was so sure you actually meant it when you said you'd never be back. Just like last week, and the week before. She motioned for the black hooded Pegasus to come in. Dash entered quickly and visibly relaxed, finally safe from public view. She hated this, and yet she could not stay away. She both blessed and cursed the day she'd let Twilight convince her to try some of the harder stuff. Like I had a choice. She showed me Spitfire's autobiography. It all went downhill from there. Soon enough, she found herself reading more and more. Not just the fun stuff either. No, she was reading textbooks on flying theory. Annoyingly, she couldn't deny that physically speaking, she was in the best shape of her life. Okay, I'm sorry. That sentence didn't make sense to me first. So it made sense, even if she felt uncomfortable doing it. The best way to keep improving her performance was to hone the mind that drove the body. At least it had at first, but over time it was making less sense. She was way too cool for this. She had been so ashamed when she first realized what she had become. It was during one of their weekly study dates. Well, that's what Twilight calls them. Dash tried not to even think about them. She'd finished Spitfire's autobiography. Spitfire, the high-flying life of a showmare, stunt pony, and legend, and was now starting on a new book Twilight had recommended. Dash had promised herself that she would stay out of the non-fiction section from then on. But what Twilight showed her next, she couldn't resist. This was by another Wonderbolt, Soren. Specifically, and it detailed some of the flight patterns they used in their shows. I'm sorry guys, I'm having difficulty talking. In this technical stuff, it was technical stuff, but nothing Dash couldn't handle. The realization when it came was startling. This is a textbook. I'm an egghead. She was reading a textbook, and she liked it. How uncool could she possibly get? I need a drink, guys. Hang on. Ah, finally. Delicious. Anyway. She had never asked for this. She was a good pony. For instance, she'd never cheated in school. Well, except for written tests. Those don't count. Stupid busy work. Yeah, the exams had always caused her problems. She'd always been perfectly able to demonstrate her understanding of the applications of flight and weather manipulation in practice, but writing out her answers on paper was something that had forever eluded her. If it hadn't been for Cloud Kicker sitting in the desk in front of her, she never would have made it. But here she was, studying, and having fun doing it. It's her fault. She glared at the face of her purple-coated tormentor, entertaining anger and resentment for just a moment, before being hit by guilt once more. Why do I keep coming back? There's no way I'm enjoying this, is there? She sighed heavily. She had this fight with herself every week, and coming to terms with her addiction was becoming easier and easier. Rainbow flitted over Twilight's bed, while the unicorn closed the window behind her with her magic. Before opening the bedroom door, Twilight stopped suddenly. Dash, I didn't mean to pick on you before. You know that, right? Dash cursed silently. It was hard to be upset with Twilight when she was like this. It's not fair. She knows this bothers me, but she still takes every opportunity to tease me. Then it's supposed to be all better when she says she's sorry. I didn't make fun of her for being purple. Even Dash had to admit this was a lame reason to be mad at her friend, but it was the best she could come up with. I know, Twi. This is just hard for me to accept. I never expected to be what I am. She lowered her head, only to gasp when a set of forelegs reached out to embrace her. Twilight held her gently, affectionately nuzzling at her ears. Every time, she gave in and just enjoyed the embrace, more annoyed with herself than with Twilight. There's no shame in it. I really don't understand why it bothers you so much. You seemed fine when we started you on Daring Do, so why should this be any different? She looked into Dash's eyes with a perplexed frown on her face. Rainbow Dash averted her gaze. I'm not a bug. Quit acting like that, like you're studying me, like you do with, like, God, fucking, ah! I'm not a bug. Quit acting like you're studying me, like you do one of your textbooks. There we go. Finally, I was able to say it. Moving on. It is different, Twy. I never expected this to like books, okay? I mean, Daring Do was cool and all, but the stuff I'm reading now, it's totally not. Studying is not cool. So I'm just weirded out like that I like it. I mean, I've always had a knack for this stuff, you know, flying and stunts. I just never felt like applying yourself. Twilight supplied helpfully with her floundering so many of these stories. Floundering friend. Taking something seriously, maybe. Come on, Dash. It's not that hard to say. Do you really think the Wonderbolts got to where they are now without some serious study? They have a plan and memorize complicated routines. That's way more than just physical skill up there. That's the result of study. She smiled triumphantly. Satisfied with her point had been made, Twilight opened the door to let them both through. I can't speak worth shit tonight. Oh my fucking god. Thank God I have a drink. That particular smile only brought to mind further issues for Rainbow Dash. Spending more time with Twilight was leading to some very confusing thoughts for her friend. It had started out as just a feeling of closeness. The hugs were always nice. The teasing not so much, but she figured Twy was owed a little slack for not making a fuss when Pinky and Dash had pranked her in the past. However, the situation hadn't stayed that simple. She now found herself looking at Twilight in ways that her friend would not appreciate if she knew about it. Twilight never seemed to notice, and Rainbow always looked away, but it was getting harder to do that every week. Oh god, here we go. I'm gonna start laughing at everything I say now. Every time. She's definitely not cute. Dash's wings rose rigidly. You stay out of this. Let's just not talk about it. I want to finish that thing on applied whatsies to the other thing. I think that guy was onto something. She carefully shed the jumpsuit while Twilight trotted down the stairs leading to the studying table. Studying table. So not a cool name. Why can't anything about this be a little more awesome? She briefly entertained the idea of asking Twilight if they could rename the table, before deciding that this was, in all actuality, even less cool. She hovered up to the shelf where she'd stowed away her textbook last week, carefully lifted the tome in both hooves, and cradled it to her chest as she made her way over to the table. Twilight was waiting there, having already picked up the book she would be I'm sorry, guys. This is just, it doesn't say pouring. It's just grammar error. P-O-R-I-N-G. That is pouring, right? That better be pouring. I'm gonna go with pouring. Pouring through the no, it's not. What the hell is that word? Oh, just fuck that word. Through for the evening. Yeah, that's how we were gonna read it. Yeah. Well, the first one in the stack. Anyway, she already had her whole night planned out. From the looks of things, Rainbow carefully alighted next to Twilight, finding a clear space prepared for her on the table. To her surprise and embarrassment, Dash found that 2 drinks had been sitting there before she even got settled. Just like last week. She knew you were coming. Face it, she's got you hooked. I mean on studying. Her wings flared up again, and she willed them back down. Ah! I have enough problems dealing with this whole egghead thing. I am definitely 100% not attracted to Twilight Sparkle. You can just stay the hay out of this conversation. Thank you very much. Oh God, why? They both reached forward for their respective glasses, blushing furiously when their hooves accidentally brushed past each other. And you can stay out of this too, Twilight. Please. I gotta stop for a second. Every time I read one of these stories, I just laugh. I can't help it. It's so goddamn funny. Anyway. Try as she might, Twilight couldn't make it through the passage that she was reading. It didn't help that she had read the same paragraph at least 5 times now, or tried to anyway. She kept losing her place. I'm sorry, Mr. Green. I'm sure it was a wonderful new gardening technique. Twilight gave her friend furtive glances every once in a while, obviously trying not to be obvious. She felt so guilty. Here Dash was again, joining her in her favorite nighttime activity, and what was Twilight doing? Staring at her brazenly, while cravingly trying to hide it. Okay. She sighed heavily. She's just way too cool? Awesome? Radical? She made a mental note to get Rainbow to pin down those definitions. Wouldn't want to insult her by using the wrong one. And anyway, I'm too busy. Heck, she's too busy. It would never work. Yet she simply couldn't stop thinking about it. It's just a chemical reaction in my brain, triggered by visual and mental stimuli. I could reproduce the same effect by eating lots of chocolate. Too much chocolate made her feel ill, though, where she couldn't imagine ever getting too much Rainbow Dash. Just do it already. Think of it as an experiment. Simply testing a hypothesis. Studying the fascinating interactions of 2 distinct bodies, particularly given the immense, seemingly magnetic properties possessed by one of them. I could merely have to provide a little action and wait for the reaction. A body at rest should remain so unless an outside force acts on it, after all. She nodded to herself. Couching her dilemma in scientific terms somehow made it sound more rational. And then maybe we could switch to some fluid dynamics. God damn it! Come on! Big words, science, this mushy crap. Come on! I can't. Oh my God. Let's just. Oh, I don't think it's worse from here. I gotta stop laughing for a second. Come on! Okay! She blushed. Hard. Kissing Rainbow? Stop. Just stop. Thinking about it only makes it worse. Rainbow? Huh? What's up, Twi? She stopped, realizing she had no real idea what to say. Taking a calming breath, she tried again. Thank you for coming over again. I really like you. She trailed off, affectionately gazing at her friend's mane. Then she snapped back in reality and hastily covered her flank. Studying with me! Yep, I absolutely love you studying with me. She buried her snout back in her book, trying desperately to hide her blush. A distracted response came back. It's cool. Another page was turned. Rainbow was always like this, no matter what she was doing. God damn it, I just lost my place. Shh. Okay. Where'd he go? Fuck. Where is it? There it is. Rainbow was always like this, no matter what she was doing. She always had her eyes on the prize. It was amazing just how focused she could be when she decided to do something. They kept reading, oblivious to each other, yet highly aware of each other. The sound of turning pages filled the library. Twilight, holding her book open with magic, She reached for her drink with her muzzle while turning the page of the book she was not reading. She was confused by the soft obstacle that impacted the side of her face and turned, bumping muzzles with Rainbow, who was reaching for her own drink. Nice. Oh, sorry. Twilight blushed heavily. Just do it. Oh. Oh, God, no. Alright. Oh, to Tartarus with it! She clutched Rainbow's face in both hooves and planted a kiss on her friend's very surprised lips. There. Was that so bad? Finally releasing her friend, she looked into Rainbow's eyes. Eyes that were glassy with shock. Nice. Really nice. Good job. Good job. Let's just keep on. Just good job. Twilight initially felt a little proud of being able to affect Rainbow so. The feeling quickly dissipated as her friend continued to stare unblinkingly. Can't the story just have small words that are easy to read for once? Calm. The feeling quickly dissipated as her friend continued to stare unblinkingly at Twilight, her gaze seemingly catatonic. Rainbow? There was no response. I'm so sorry, I gotta go. She jumped up, letting the book fall from her levitation field, and galloped upstairs to her room, quickly opening the door and slamming it shut after her. The whole library shook. I'm sorry, let's just keep going. Several eternities later, there was a knock on the bedroom door. Twilight looked up at it in panic and held it closed with her magic. Go away! Can I just have a normal time reading a story that's not so normal, but okay at the same time? Go away, Rainbow! I can't! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to! Just go, please! Rainbow, when she responded, sounded confused and more than a little annoyed. Twilight, please open the door. Twilight hid under her covers. Dash. The sound of the front door opening, followed 2 seconds later by her bedroom window creaking open, alerted her to the fact that she was no longer alone in the room. A hoof poked her at her side. The accompanying voice sounded impatient now. Twilight, come out from under there. Under there. Okay. Twilight squirmed away from the offending hoof like it was a snake. No, I'm going to live here now. Spike can bring me food and books. It'll be okay. I'll be fine. She huddled down further under her covers. A head peeked in under the fortress of blankitude. Twi, it's okay. Twilight looked at her face in panic. No, it's not okay. I kissed you and I didn't even ask you if you wanted to kiss me and how you hate me and I have to move back to Canada and... Any further breakdown was cut off mid-sentence by a pair of lips pressed against hers. That's the first time I ever made a sound effect, and that was just gonna... I don't think this is a good story to start with. Oh, God! Twilight returned the kiss desperately. She gave up trying to think and just leaned into it. When contact was finally broken, she found Dash smiling into her eyes. Dash gently removed the covers and plopped down on the bedside next to Twilight, swinging her legs a little. Oh, God damn it. Twilight sat up, not quite sure how to feel. Neither said anything for a long time. The Pegasus finally broke the silence. Now we're even, 'cause I didn't ask you for permission either. Twilight nodded, not daring to speak for fear of saying something incredibly stupid. Dash ran a hoof along her mane nervously. I guess this means you like me too? Yeah, I mean, I know you like me, but yeah. Twilight nodded again, still not trusting her brain-to-mouth control. What the hell was that? That was my phone. My phone's going off. Oh, God. What is this? What's going on? Oh, my show's on. Shit. Alright. I'll be right back, guys. I'm not actually going anywhere in this. Just stay put. Don't move. Moving on. Where do we leave off at? Brain to mouth control? Alright, brain to mouth control it is. Anyway. Dash's wings rose slightly and she gave... Oh. Ray? I fucking saw this in school. What the hell is this word? Ray. Fuck it. Grin. Okay. That's cool, I guess. We can do the whole couple thing if you want to try it out. Might be fun. She really looked nervous about something. Just one thing. Will you promise me you won't tell any pony? Twilight let that sink in for a moment. Wait. You want to date me? But you don't want any pony to know? Rainbow chuckled, trying to hide her discomfort. No, it's not that. I don't want to ruin my rep, Twi. If ponies knew I was doing what I was doing, they'd get the wrong idea. Twilight did not respond at first, too confused to know what to say. Gradually, she came to a conclusion she did not like, and her expression fell. Rainbow, you can't be serious! I won't date some pony who doesn't want to be seen with me. What? Twilight... Dash looked puzzled, then quickly backpedaled. Oh! No, not like that. It's cool. I know what I like, and I like you. So, what's wrong then? Twilight cocked her head to one side. Okay, grammar, yes. She was happier, but still confused. I don't want any pony to know... Look, I can't say it, okay? It just bothers me. The kissing? Rainbow squirmed on the bed, clearly uncomfortable. No, not... Look, it's hard for me to say. Just please don't tell any pony what I was doing when we had our first kiss. Twilight stared at her for a while, then smiled brightly. It will be our little secret. She threw her forelegs around Rainbow and kissed her gently. When they finally came up for air, Twilight pressed herself closer and whispered softly into Rainbow's ear. Egghead. The unicorn darted away, squealing with laughter as Dash grabbed a pillow in her teeth and launched it after her retreating form. And that's the end of it. Yeah, that's it. That's the end. I could have stayed up here and finished this before I watched my show. God damn it. Oh well. Yeah. That was the first shipping story I've read. What did I think of it? A little odd. Little out of place from the things I normally read. Of course, then again, so are most of the pony fan fiction I read. But hey, whatever. Story's a story. And I said I would read almost any story that I get requested or recommended on here. So, links are in the description below, like usual. And, well, I'm Pulkana/LookLoser, and Rainbow Dash is an egghead. But we're all cool with it. And I'm here to make you all very uncomfortable with me.